Hello, scrapbookers. This is Megan, and I am back with a For the Love of Homemade Kits layout. So, this is the first layout in the second round of our homemade kit series that I am doing with Hannah Lemieux. And this time around, we also have Felicia Young joining us in this kit challenge. So make sure that you go on over to both Hannah and Felicia's channels, which I will have links below to their videos. Okay, so here we are. I have this one photo of my son Jonas, that's my oldest son, and I'm going to mount it on this light blue plus sign paper. And this is a photo of him. We were at the zoo in Boise, and I don't remember completely the context behind this photo, but I just thought it was such a cute photo where he's not even in most of it. And then I know you can't see it, but right underneath the tree, in the middle of the tree, in the middle of the photo, is a zebra. And zebras were Jonas's favorite animal. He loved zebras. And he is covering his eyes. And so I need to go to my blog and figure out if I journaled on my blog about the photo. Because I'm really curious what he was thinking and what I was thinking at the time. Because it's like he was playing Peekaboo with the zebra, but I don't know what was going on for real. Okay, so here I had this printable from Click Kits, and I didn't want to cover up that cute little circle. So here I'm trying to cut it out, but it's not cooperating very well. I wanted to get more of the arrows, but my punch wasn't big enough, and so finally I'm just like, screw it, I'm just gonna cut it. So I cut it, and I'm going to put this on the left side of the photo just as a little peeking out, I don't know what you call it, a little mat. It's not going to take up the whole photo though. Okay, so now here I am going to cut apart some of this yellow paper. I cut too much off of it at first because I wanted it to be just a little bit smaller than the image, like more so than that. And so I am going to cut it down a little bit more there. Okay, so that is perfect. I'm very happy with the way this is going, and I used I was going to say sketch. I used a scrap lift that I found on Pinterest for this, which you will have seen before the video. So here I am using Sapphire in Close to My Heart ink. And I really like this paint swatches paper, so I'm going to just put a little bit peeking out from the top and the bottom. And now I'm going to ink those edges. I have been inking edges a lot lately. Normally I forget to do this, but lately I've been remembering, so it's kind of been a lot of fun. Something that I don't normally do. Or if I do it, I have to like rip the papers off and do it. Okay, so now I am looking for some more papers and other things to embellish the layout with. The scrap lift, the layout that I picked to scrap lift had some doilies in it, but I didn't have any doilies in my kit. So I did pull out these craft doilies, but I really didn't want to use them since they weren't in my kit. But here I'm going to ink up the edges of these tags and little ephemera pieces, and I'm going to do a cluster down there on the bottom. I did, however, put tags in my kit, so instead of using doilies, I'm going to put tags in two different cluster areas up there by the photo. So I'm just kind of playing around with the different tags. There were a ton of tags in this collection. These are Jelly Bean Soup tags. And so I'm just kind of playing around with them, trying to position them in different places. And then also in this kit, I had that zebra flare, which I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. This photo was totally meant to be the photo that I used for this kit. So I was way excited about that. I decided to use some of the washi tape that I included in the kit as well behind the photo, just as another added layer. Now here I'm just going to start gluing everything down. I'm edging the photos with some ink, or not the photos, sorry, the tags with some ink. And I'm going to fuss with this for a while because I wanted it to look good and perfect. That's how I am a lot of the time. I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to scrapbooking, so get used to me saying that. I wanted it to be perfect. I don't always, but this time I did. So here I'm adding 3 layers of tape just because I had it go up a little bit higher underneath the mat, and so I wanted to make sure that you could see more of the washi tape. So now I'm going to glue the tags together, and then I'm going to glue them behind the photo. And then I decide, oh, I don't really like how I had it placed, and so then I fix it. I'm going to glue down that flare badge with the zebra stripes, and I'm also going to end up using that circle that says do more of what makes you happy. I actually wasn't thinking I was going to use that, but it ended up to be another perfect embellishment, or another perfect piece to do a little embellishment cluster area down there on the left side of the photo. Okay, so now here I'm just adding a couple more pieces to this cluster area up there. I'm going to use some of these enamel dots. And now I'm going to glue down the cluster of words and tags down on the bottom. And I think that this is probably my favorite part of the layout, is this little cluster down there on the bottom of the layout. I don't know why. I just think it's really cool. And then I have that rad flare badge, which I also got from a click kit, and so that's going to go down there in that spot. And I believe that was the only 2 flare badges that I had in this kit, and I'm going to use them both on this layout, so that worked out perfect. So now here I decided that I was going to do another cluster area with more tags, so I'm just pulling out a couple more tags, trying to figure out which ones I wanted to use. And so I'm going to fiddle around with this for a while. I didn't like the way that there was 2 different patterns that you could see behind the XO on that tag, so I just cut out that pattern from that 4x4 card, and I'm going to just glue it behind there. I'm going to glue down this little tag. I do end up moving it, but for the most part it stays there. I just kind of move it above that yellow paper layer. And like I said, I'm being a perfectionist and just moving and moving, and things keep coming up, and so yeah. And then I forgot to ink the edges, and you can barely even tell, but it just makes me feel better. Okay, so here is where I pull that tag above the yellow layer, and now I'm going to put some enamel dots right there in a cluster of 3, and that little area is going to be done. Now, let's see, what else do I do? So I'm thinking that I'm pretty much done, except I need to do a title. So I'm going to, maybe I wanted to, some more embellishing. I kind of felt like that cluster up there in the top right hand corner needed something else. So I pull out a couple more things, and the only thing I'm going to keep is that little tag that says "so cute." So I'm going to glue that down. And then I believe I'm going to start doing stuff with the title. Oh, I decided to do some misting, so I pulled out my Heidi Swapp Color Shine in teal. Oh, and I did decide, I'm done. But then I was like, well, wait a minute. Maybe I could use some of this chipboard. And then I remembered I had the sticker set from the Shine collection, and it had a zebra on it. So I am going to try so super hard to put this on the layout, because this is a layout about a zebra, and so it has to be on here, right? Because when am I ever going to need to scrapbook about a zebra? Probably never again. So I kind of fussed with this for a while, and I am going to leave it down there in the bottom right hand corner cluster, but not in that spot that I have it. I ran away. I think I went to go start a new YouTube video, because I like to watch YouTube videos when I scrapbook. So there was this circle tag or sticker that said treasure on it. So I'm going to put that down right there. And then I'm going to put the zebra right underneath it. I just felt like I didn't want the zebra to be just floating there. So it was really hard to find a spot for him, but I didn't want to not have him on the layout. So he does end up on the layout down in the bottom right hand corner. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I had to glue down one of the pop dots because it kind of lost its sticky after I picked it up off of the paper. I ran off again, so I apologize about that. And then I think this is where I finally decide, okay, I'm going to put it down here on the bottom. I add some of this washi tape down there on the bottom as well, because I still felt like the zebra was floating in the middle of, nothing. So I put the washi there to kind of ground the zebra down. So that worked out perfect. Now I'm going to do my title, and I'm going to use these Amy Tangerine thickers, and they are just a thin gray thicker, and I really love how the title turned out. I am going to grab a die cut, which I did put in the kit, and it's just an arrow, and I'm going to have it point at the area where the zebra is, so that you know that there really is something in the rest of the photo. I stepped away again, so I apologize about that. I don't know why I was doing that so much this time. But so here I'm just going to pull off the title, which is going to be Zebra Peekaboo. And I'm going to kind of fuss around with the placement of the title. This is the reason why I really like to use the wax paper, because you can see through it and kind of get an idea of where it would look good. So here's where I pull out that cut file. I'm going to ink it up with this sapphire blue ink, and then I'm going to glue it down using my Tombow glue, but then I run out and I need to go get some more, so I had to use my ATG gun. Okay, so now I'm just going to start putting down the word zebra on top of the arrow. And then I'm going to do Peekaboo right underneath it. And this is going to take forever, so I'm going to cut this out. And this is pretty much the end of my layout. So thanks so much for watching, and make sure that you go on over to Hannah and Felicia's YouTube channels as well to see the layouts that they made with their kits. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.